Welcome into NFL Daily. I am your host, Harrison Graham. Thanks to everybody who tweeted me their trade packages over this past week. Been doing one of these videos a week here at Chat Sports. Had a lot of fun with it. The way it works, you guys send me your trade proposals, and I go through them and give my breakdown of them here on today's video. So let's start with Jacob Raleigh, who tweeted me this trade proposal. Josh Rosen to the Patriots for a 2021 fifth-round pick. I am fascinated by the enamorment of Josh Rosen. I'm not convinced he's very good. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Now, look, obviously Rosen's probably not in the Dolphins' long-term plan, so they would certainly entertain a trade after they drafted Tua Tagovailoa. I just don't know what his trade value is at this point, guys. He didn't play well in Arizona, did not play well in Miami last year, and I'm so sick and tired of everybody. He just needs to be in a good situation. Most rookie and young quarterbacks don't get put into good situations, and they play better than Josh Rosen has. They do better than this. This is 16 starts, so a season worth of games in his career between the Cardinals and the Dolphins. That's bad. I don't care how bad the situation is. Less than 55%, less than 3,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, 19 picks. I don't get it, guys. I didn't love him coming out of college. Everybody says, oh, he's a pure thrower of the football. I don't think he's that good. Could he be better in a better situation? Of course, everybody could. But from the Patriots standpoint, I'd rather gamble on Stidham, who you drafted yourself, and you at least know what he's about. Who knows what I think we know a little bit about Josh Rosen. At least with Stidham, there's a bit of a known unknown, and you kind of wonder if he could be something really good. I don't really see it with Josh Rosen. What do you guys think? Simple question. Is Josh Rosen good? Type Y for yes, type N for no. The answer has to be no at this point, guys. I'd love to see the kid prove me wrong, but I just haven't seen it. So I am typing mine in for no. Have you guys followed me on Twitter? If you want to be on the show, I've been doing these videos, like I said, about once per week, usually Thursday or Friday. Here's what you got to do. You got to follow me on Twitter at HGramNFL. Then send me your best trade proposals either via DM or just tweet at me at HGramNFL. Give me a follow. Send me your trade packages. I have fun with these. Be specific, too. Don't just be like, Yannick Ngakoue trade. Be like, okay, Yannick for XYZ, future pick, future player, whatever it is. So give me a follow on Twitter and send me your best trade proposals, and I'll keep doing these videos about once per week. All right, Darth Raider sent me this one. Raiders receive Yannick Ngakoue, and the Jaguars receive Gabe Jackson in a 2021 third-round pick. I don't think that's quite going to get it done, Darth Raider. I'll say this. I think the Jags have maybe missed their window of getting a first-round pick for Yannick Ngakoue. It's twofold, right? Yannick keeps complaining on social media how he wants out of Jacksonville. What does that do? It lowers his trade value. They didn't get any offers during the draft that they liked. The only way they're getting a first-round pick is if it's at the trade deadline. That's what I honestly believe. Now, they may just want to get him out of there because he says he's not going to play for them and just take whatever they can get. I still think they'll get a second-round pick, though, Darth Raider. I don't think it'll be a third. You're talking about a guy with almost 40 sacks in his young career. I just don't see a scenario where Yannick Ngakoue goes for a third-round pick and a guard that you're trying to get rid of. That's the other side of this. Why do the Jags want Gabe Jackson? The Jags they're tanking, let's be honest. They're going to see what Minshew does this year, and then they're probably going to draft Trevor Lawrence. So, Ngakoue to Vegas would be interesting. I think he would be a huge upgrade from Clelin Ferrell, where Ferrell could take a step back, continue to learn, and be a rotation type of guy behind him and behind Ngakoue and Max Crosby. But I think it's going to cost more than a third-round pick and an offensive guard that the Raiders are just trying to unload because his contract sucks. I think it's going to take a little bit more than that. Fill in the blank for me. Yannick Ngakoue will be wearing a blank jersey in week 1 of this season. Jaguars? I got to think it's going to be in Jacksonville week 1. Now, he may not show up. He may not play. But I have a hard time them finding a first-round pick for Ngakoue before the season. And if that's the case, they might just hang on to him until the trade deadline. I hope you guys hang on to your mother because moms are the best. Get them some flowers for Mother's Day. It's not too late. We are 2 days away, so we're getting close here, but you can still get these flowers for 15% off at chatsports.com/mom. I'll put that link in the comments. I'll put it in the description. I'll make it easy for you guys. You just click on it. Boom, get you to the Pro Flowers website, and you can get these for 15% off. Tons of bouquets, tons of gifts, tons of flowers, all kinds of stuff for 15% off. Make your mom feel special on Mother's Day. All right, Yusuf tweeted me this trade proposal. Jamal Adams to the Titans for a 2021 first and a 2021 third. This might be the most realistic one yet. Now, I do think it's less and less likely that the Jets move Jamal Adams at this point. The trade chatter has certainly decreased, leading up to the draft and certainly after the draft, after what I thought was a really good draft for the New York Jets. That doesn't mean they wouldn't trade him, though. It just means it's going to cost a lot, because I think the Jets want to try to win right now. Adam Gase can't be affording to mess around. Now, he does some peculiar things, so I won't rule it out. Teammate Marcus May, I think, is more likely to get dealt after they drafted Ashton Davis. But Jamal Adams, look, this guy is terrific. He does everything. He tackles well. He's good in the box. He can blitz the quarterback. He can pick off passes. He can force fumbles. What can't this guy do? I don't know. He's probably the best young safety in the NFL. I just think it's going to cost a lot. A first and a third for Adams, that's probably a pretty reasonable price, but with Tennessee drafting later in the draft probably, even that may not be enough, Yusuf. So I'll be curious to see what happens with Adams. I think he's in New York for at least one more year. Maybe if the Jets are really bad early on, they deal him at the trade deadline. Will Jamal Adams be traded before the 2020 season kicks off? Type 1 for yes. Type 2 for no. I'm going to type my 2 for no. I think the Jets are going to give it a go this year and see what happens and then reevaluate next offseason. I like their draft. I like some of the pieces they got around Sam Darnold. Why not see how 2020 goes and then reevaluate in 2021? Luke Alvarez sent me this trade package, Bears and Patriots trade here. Julian Edelman and a 2021 third to Chicago for Mitchell Trubisky and TARIK Cohen. All right, a lot to go into here. So let's start with Trubisky, whose trade value is not great. Maybe around a fourth-round pick for him alone is what you're looking at here. He just didn't improve from 2018 to 2019. The completion percentage was down, the yardage, the volume of touchdowns. Obviously, the passer rating really stands out there. I think that tells the story more than anything. He didn't run the ball as much. Now, certainly he dealt with a shoulder problem that caused him to miss a few games and had offseason surgery on his left shoulder, so that is legitimate. But he didn't take the right steps forward. And then TARIK Cohen, he also, it's hard to say that a running back regresses. I think that was more just as a result of the offense and, quite frankly, the quarterback play wasn't as effective this past year in Chicago. I still think he's a good weapon in the backfield, but both these guys' trade value isn't what it was 12 months ago. Like, you're not going to get a ton for him. And while Julian Edelman's an aging receiver, he's still productive. I mean, 1,100 yards last year, 850 in 2018, was out 2017 with injury, but over 1,100 in 2016. Talk about one of the best slot receivers in the NFL. So I think it would cost a little bit more. It would be intriguing for the Bears because you got Allen Robinson and Anthony Miller. You could put Miller back on the outside, and Edelman could handle the slot duty there. I think that would be interesting for the Chicago Bears, but I don't know if that trade makes a ton of sense for New England to give up a third to bring in Trubisky, who's been pretty shaky, and TARIK Cohen, who's on the last year of his deal. I think the Bears would win that trade, quite frankly, to get Edelman and a third to unload Trubisky and Cohen, both who are likely going to be off the team in 2021. I'm typing my B for Bears in that scenario. Now, if it's a fourth or fifth round pick, maybe it's worth the flyer for Trubisky. I mean, the guy was the number 2 overall pick a few years ago, but I think the Bears certainly win this trade. All right, guys, I want you guys to stay safe, number 1. And 2, you can stay safe in style by picking a 3-pack of your favorite teams of face mask coverings for just $25. We got the Cowboys, Bears, all kinds of teams. I believe all 32 teams are available. If not, almost all of them are at chatsports.com/staysafe. That's chatsports.com/staysafe. Obviously, it's a trying time for all of us right now, but we got to get groceries, got to get out and do things. So if you do, why not represent your team in the process? You can get these 3 packs for just $25. I'll put that link of chatsports.com/staysafe down in the comments. It'll be in the description. You can find it very, very easily, and you can purchase one of these 3 packs today. All right, Matt Melling didn't send me a specific trade package, but I wanted to get this on the show because I think it's intriguing. Basically asking, what's Stephon Gilmore's trade value if the Patriots do tank? Says it's a bit far-fetched. I don't think it's a bit far-fetched that the Patriots may not be very good this year, and if they're not, and if they're truly looking on a long-term rebuild, why not trade Stephon Gilmore, who has 2 years left on his deal? You're going to get a lot for him. This guy is the best corner in the league right now. it would cost at least a first and more for a team to trade for him. If a team offered the Patriots a first and a second, it would not shock me. New England has done weirder things in the past than trade Stephon Gilmore. Like, the guy's incredible, 6 picks, 20 pass breakups. You don't just move on from this guy for no reason, but New England's been aggressive in the past. They've been willing to trade really good players in their prime. This wouldn't be the first time they've done something like this. If the Patriots do start out poorly, if Jarrett Stidham is not the answer, which I don't know if any of us believe that he is, then maybe he is a trade deadline type of trade candidate. I would not be surprised by that at all. What should the Patriots do in 2020? Type T for tank, type D for don't. In the NFL, tanking is kind of it's not the NBA. Like, you can get quality players throughout the first round. So I never really advertise, push for tanking, but this is a unique situation. If you can get Trevor Lawrence, it might be worth it in the end. So type T for tank, type D for don't. We'll see what happens with Stephon Gilmore, just 29 years old. I think he's the best corner in the league right now, 6 picks last year. He would cost a lot, and he would bring the Patriots a lot of draft capital in a trade.